Alright, sit back and relax, and let me tell you how a nobody turned into something way worse. We opened up at a regular high school, calm, normal, nothing crazy, and then, swish, something smacks into the back of a kid's head. It's a razor shaving. He's just sitting at his desk minding his business, and pieces of rubber are getting launched at him from behind, over and over. He slowly turns around. A couple of guys are staring at him with those stupid smirks. Oh, did that hit you? My bad. I was aiming for the guy in front of you. And then he looks forward. There's nobody there. They keep throwing more. His hair is full of eraser dust now. He turns back again and says, "Hey, can you stop?" And then the room goes quiet. The brown-haired bully stands up. "You little shit. What did you just say?" The kid tries to explain. "You kept throwing it at me, so I just wanted you to stop. That's all it takes." Boom. He gets punched straight in the face. The bully grabs him by the hair and starts yanking his head around like he's nothing. "You think you can tell me what to do?" His cheeks swell up immediately. He's apologizing and begging. The whole class just watches. No one moves. Then someone whispers, "The teacher's coming." The bully instantly switches up. The bully wraps his arm around him like they're best friends, and then the teacher walks in. "Stop fooling around and get to your seats." And the class goes back to normal like nothing happened. But it's not done. A sticky note starts getting passed around the room, hand to hand, and when it finally lands, they stick it on his back. It says, "No mom," laugh out loud. The class bursts out laughing. Teacher asks for the date, calls on a student to read, completely ignores everything, and the kid just sits there thinking, the adults don't care. No one's going to help me. I'm alone. The bell rings, and that's when everything changes. A short-haired guy walks in like he owns the place. "Yo, who's got 6? The brown-haired bully lights up immediately. "I got some. I'll share." That tells you everything. This guy is higher up on the food chain. He walks past the bullied kid, notices the sticky note, and lifts his shirt so the whole class can see. "You guys are in elementary school or something?" So childish. He asks who wrote it. Brown-haired bully nervously laughs. "Oh, that was me." He doesn't even react well when I hit him. And then, crack. A left hook sends him flying to the lockers. Dust everywhere. He drops and then gets kicked in the stomach. "You think you're funny? Did you forget your place? Just because I chill with you a bit, you think you're special?" The entire class freezes. Even the bullied kid. What's his name? Dagon Kwan? And Dagon looks at him. No one touches him again. If they do, they answer to me. And just like that, it's all over. Man's not getting bullied anymore. The teachers couldn't fix it, and the system didn't even fix it. But one stronger bully did. At that school, the top bullies, words were law. That kind of power could change someone's life instantly. And Dagon hated it. He hated that his life was decided by someone stronger. So that night, shirtless in front of a mirror, he makes a decision. He's not weak, but he's not strong either. And that's not good enough. So he trains, runs until his lungs burn, lifts until his arms shake, reads fighting manuals, watches professional fighters, copies their moves. Day after day, week after week, he gains weight, grows taller, his body fills out. He gets a growth spurt like the universe decided to help him. When he goes back to school, people don't recognize him. Girls start looking. He's handsome now, confident, different, but then the rumors start. Don't get close to him. Dagon's a scummy bully, and the image flips. Now he's grabbing students by the collar, now he's throwing punches, now he's beating people down. He releases every ounce of frustration he ever swallowed. He makes sure no one will ever look down on him again. But power built on rage doesn't last forever. Things fall apart, like a Jenga tower collapsing in slow motion. And when we cut back to the present, Dagon Kwan is working at a convenience store. Okay, so this is where things start getting interesting. We cut to a chairman's office. School violence, modern day bullies, teachers can't control them anymore. You see a teacher trying to discipline a student, and the kid just stares at him like he's nothing. No fear, no respect, but here's the thing. Even bullies are nothing in front of someone stronger. Then we see her, glasses, sharp, calm, dressed like she owns the room. She's standing in front of a board of old men, presenting something like it's just another business plan. The core of the project is simple. Project name, designated bully. The room shifts. Her idea, secretly insert one powerful bully into a school, not to hurt innocent kids, but to hunt down other bullies. Answer violence with stronger violence. The board member snaps. "You're saying you'll fight violence with violence? Are you insane?" But one man stays quiet. Chairman energy. He leans forward. "Do you have someone in mind?" And then we cut to the convenience store. Dagon Kwan, nerd glasses on, messy stubble that doesn't match his face, reading a GED prep book behind the counter. He sighs and closes the book. And then his balding coworker watches him from afar. Kids these days have no passion, just yapping. Meanwhile, Dagon's thinking, "I should have just stuck it out in school. I want to say screw this job, screw this GED. I just want to punch something." And like the universe heard him. Cut to a group of high school punks bullying some short nerdy kid in a green jacket. They're asking for money. "You broke or something?" The kid says he needs money for his mom, and they all laugh. How old are you? And you're still talking about your mommy? One of them threatens to kick his ass if he cries. Hierarchy shifts again. Another bigger bully shows up 20 feet away and orders the bowl cut bully to go buy cigarettes. Instant obedience. That tells you who's in charge. So bowl cut and his girlfriend head into the convenience store. Dagon's co-worker suddenly gets nervous and leaves the register to Dagon. The kid walks in, 2 packs of cigs. Dagon looks at him. Just a kid. But that aura, he gives lackey energy. Okay, I need your ID. The hell would I bring that? I live down the block, just give it to me. Can't. Show ID or leave. Firm. Girlfriend mocks him. You don't know how to talk to customers. The kid tosses money on the counter. Hurry it up, I don't have time. Dagon's eye twitches. Still calm. I need your ID. The kid grabs a bottle of wine too. Girlfriend laughs. Why are you drinking this early? Dagon sighs. Are your ears clogged? And that's it. The kid grabs him by the collar. You want to die, Four Eyes? The co-worker peeks from behind a shelf. He's seen this before. He almost calls the police, but doesn't want trouble. So instead, sir, could you take it outside? Dagon looks at him like, what? But they go outside. Now they're in the alley. Dagon's back is against the wall. The kid keeps talking. You scared now, aren't you? Still running his mouth. Dagon doesn't look fazed at all. Then calmly, I'll count to 3. And then the bully's girlfriend laughs. What is this, a movie? And then Dagon started counting. The kid lifts his hand and then slap. 1 hit. He's on the ground. Out cold. Girlfriend panicking. His cheek is swollen now. He wakes up confused. How's that guy still standing? He tells the bully's girlfriend to call the others. He doesn't accept defeat. Dagon crouches down like a dad about to lecture his son. How old are you? The bully is 17. Dagon grabs his collarbone. The kid panics. Feels like he's dying. Quit exaggerating. If you come by cigarettes again, I'll beat the hell out of you. Then the backup arrives. A whole squad, including the boss. Huge guy, green sweatshirt, beer belly. Looks like someone's uncle, but somehow still in high school. He introduces himself. Daehan Oh from Nadong High School. Lifts his hand to slap Dagon, but before he even moves, crack! Dagon smacks him so hard his face deforms midair. Slow motion, mucus flying, and then thud. Boss down in 1 hit. Everyone freezes. Dagon sighs. I don't have time for this. You all should come at me all at once. And then they do. He dismantles them one by one. Effortless. One tries to use a soju bottle. Doesn't matter. Wind knocked out. Only one left. My man has a buzz cut. He's staring. There's no way. Are you Dagon Kwan? The one from Nadong High School? The girlfriend gasps. The Dagon Kwan? The guy who unified Incheon in a week? The one whose fist is worse than getting shot? But I heard he was handsome. Buzz cut bows instantly. Please forgive us. Dagon grabs him by the head. You're not embarrassed? The whole squad is trembling. He looks at the girl, then says something to her. And you? She apologizes instantly. Now the bullies are the ones begging. And Dagon? He's just standing there like it was light work. But someone was watching from the shadows. Then as Dagon leaves the alley, stretching his neck, it felt good letting loose after so long. And waiting at the exit, the glasses woman from earlier. Black skirt suit, sharp eyes. I'd like to speak with you. He says, no thanks, I'm not religious. It's not like that. She hands him a card. It says that she's from the Gomyeong Education Foundation. Cut back to the chairman's office. Did he accept? Silence. And then we cut to Gomyeong High School. Our guy is in uniform. Dagon walking through the gates. He's age 20. Back in high school, he adjusts his collar. Still handsome, still calm. And this time, he's not the bullied kid. He's the designated bully. This is where the project officially begins. We cut back to Dagon meeting the glasses lady. They're standing somewhere quiet, talking business. She gets straight to it. They want to hire him to beat up other bullies. Dagon just looks at her like, you're from an education foundation and you're doing something this shady? He says it so casually, it almost sounds like he doesn't care. She doesn't flinch. Instead, she tells him they've already looked into Dagon's background. Dagon pauses, confused. Then she steps closer, puts her left hand on his right shoulder, leans in and whispers that he's not really in a position to act tough. He's desperate, and this is a chance to make up for his past mistakes. Dagon goes silent, and then he accepts. And then we cut back to Gomyeong High School. Dagon walks through the gates in uniform, and the glow up is insane. Students stare, girls whisper. Some are already fixing their makeup. Even the guys are low-key staring. Meanwhile, inside the classroom, there's chaos. Blonde guy with Titanic Leonardo hair is literally riding another student piggyback like he's on safari. His name is Jungmin. Beside him is a Frankenstein-looking dude with brown hair. Ho Jungbang, class 1-1, resident, and he's old-faced. Ho Jung tells Jungmin that the bread delivery kid that they bullied quit school, and there's a new transfer student. Jungmin smirks. Guess what make the new guy the designated bread boy? Teacher barges in yelling at everyone to get to class. Then Dagon walks in, calm. Main character aura heavy. He introduces himself. Girls are blushing. The class is buzzing. Even the bullies pause for a second. Ho Jung sighs. Unlucky for him, I guess I have to beat him on his first day. Teacher says since there was a dropout, Dagon can sit there, get along with everyone, prepare for class. At first, things seem normal. Dagon chats with the kid next to him, Minsu Kim. He's wearing glasses while studying. Minsu asks, "Why do you wear glasses?" Dagon casually replies he doesn't even need them. His vision is perfect. Then, bam, Hojung smacks Minsu right in front of Dagon. Dagon actually looks surprised. Hojung smirks. "Having fun with your new friend, Minsu?" Then tells Minsu to go buy him bread. Apparently, the last kid who sat there used to be the bread boy. Now that he's gone, Minsu inherits the job. Minsu says class is about to start, and then Jomin laughs in the back. Hojung sarcastically thanks him and tells the class to close their eyes, and then they actually do it. Dagon looks at him like they're insane. Hojung smacks Minsu again. "Listen when I talk, don't talk back." Dagon thinks about stepping in, but then he remembers the rules. Keep the project secret and don't go overboard. Don't fight without justification. Don't create witnesses. Now he's overwhelmed. He even remembers the glasses lady telling him, "School is like a jungle. A lion held down by chains can't become king. But you're not an average lion, are you?" And then back to present. Hojung looks at Dagon. "Why aren't your eyes closed?" Since the old bread boys sat there, both Dagon and Minsu should go buy bread together. Dagon calmly says, "No need for two delivery boys." Class laughs. Hojung stops laughing. "Shut your trap and go." Dagon stands up, holds his hand out toward Hojung. "Fine, then give me money." Hojung freezes. Dagon's hand just wagging in front of him. Hojung explodes, grabs Dagon by the head. "Give you money? Use your own." "What? Your parents don't give you allowance? Do you even have parents?" Dagon's expression changes. He's cold. "Just so we're clear, you put your hands on me first." Hojung says, "Huh?" And then boom. Straight liver shot. Hojung folds. Dagon unloads. Body shots, hooks, uppercut, even a final slap just for emphasis. Girls are shook. Students are trying not to laugh. Jungmin jumps out of his seat. Dagon calmly says, Hojung crossed the line first, then points at Jungmin. "You too, come here." Jungmin tries to act tough. "Come here, asshole." Dagon walks right up. Jungmin swings. Miss. Another miss. And another miss. "Stop dodging." Dagon steps in. Punch to the gut. Jungmin spits mucus. About to collapse. Dagon goes for another hit. "Wait, my stomach. I feel like I'm dying." And then suddenly, Hojung charges from behind with a desk lifted over his head. "I'll kill you." Dagon almost looks excited. When Hojung gets into range, crack. Right hand straight to the face. Both of them end up slumped against lockers. Knocked out cold. Dagon grabs Hojung by the hair. "Is that bread really that good?" Hojung groans. Dagon then smirks. "Give me some too while you're at it." Hojung spits out blood. "You think you took over the class just because you beat us? I'm not the top here, you know." Dagon pauses, looks toward the door. Footsteps. The real top dog walks in. His name is Manho. Dagon turns slowly. "So that's your ace, huh?" And he doesn't look even slightly worried. So now, the real top dog steps in. Red hair, calm face, zero panic. This is Manho. He looks at the two clowns Dagon just folded and goes, "Making a scene on your first day, huh? How'd you two lose to one guy?" Then he looks back at Dagon. And why doesn't he even have a scratch on him? Meanwhile, Dagon's just scratching the back of his head like he's bored. The two being bullies slowly move out the way. They know something is about to happen. Manho starts walking forward. "You know, shouldn't we try to get along on your first day?" he says politely. Dagon's eyes narrow. Because even though Manho says they're not fighting, his feet are set. He's subtle. He's clean. Kickboxing stance. He's ready to explode at any second. And in the back, Hojung whispers that the transfer student is strong. But Manho's different. After getting humiliated by a guy from class 3 before, Manho went all in on kickboxing. He's legit now. Meanwhile, Manho's scanning the room too, noticing something interesting. The class isn't scared of Hojung anymore. The hierarchy already shifted. Manho smirks. "Anyway, we should introduce ourselves." He reached his hand out. Dagon opens his mouth to introduce himself, and then bam, surprise attack. Manho blocks Dagon's guard with one hand and launches a low kick straight toward the forbidden zone, the ultimate dirty move. Every guy instinctively moves to block that, and then it shows Dagon doing just that. He drops his guard down, that's when Manho fakes it. Right hook flies in, Dagon barely rolls with it. Manho follows up with a left hook combo, but Dagon kicks his leg mid-swing. Manho loses balance, and before he can recover, Dagon grabs him and slams him into the wall near the window. Crash! Dagon looks at him. "Isn't that crossing the line in a fight between guys?" Manho wipes his mouth. "What are you talking about? I didn't actually hit you though." Dirty mindset. The class is shocked. Usually when Manho fights, it ends fast. Manho resets. "Alright, I was playing around earlier. I'll fight properly now." Dagon shrugs. "Sure, just don't aim for sensitive areas next time." Acting like he wasn't just shook for a split second. And Manho starts fighting dirty again, throwing random objects, rushing with hooks, trying to overwhelm him. Dagon dodges everything clean. Manho gets irritated. "Stop dodging." Then he tries misdirection. He's yelling at a classmate to not interfere. Dagon glances for a second to see who he was talking to. That's when Manho loads up a full power punch. But then, thud. Dagon blocks it with one hand. Looks annoyed now. "You done playing tricks?" Manho smirks. "Haha, not even close." And tries to poke out Dagon's eyes. That's when Dagon's expression changes. "Okay, we're done." And then, boom. One straight punch to Mano's face, lights out. Mano collapses, silence. The strongest in the class just got dropped. Dagon exhales. Who fights like that? He looks at Mano's underlings. Take him to the infirmary, and when he wakes up, you three report back to me. Got it? They nod instantly. Hierarchy established. Cut to the teacher conference room. The glasses lady Sa-Im Lee peeks aside. In her head, she's thinking, your first day is critical, Dagon. We delayed the faculty meeting to buy you time. I wonder if that was enough time to build a new hierarchy. As she walks away confident, from around the corner, a student named Era sees her and immediately recognizes her. Sa-Im Lee, project manager of the foundation. Why is she here? Cut back to class. Dagon stands in front of the defeated bullies like a drill sergeant. A school is for studying? Cut out the childish bullying. They nervously say that they're not even bullies. Dagon leans in slightly. Depending on how you act, I can either be your friend or your worst nightmare. My guy's cold. Then he turns to the class. If you see these three bullying anyone again, tell me. I'll break them down piece by piece and rebuild them properly. Some students are terrified. Some are relieved, but nobody questions him. Then we cut to class 1-3. A guy named Sangbo watches a video on a phone. It's Dagon destroying Mano. His underlings are laughing. Didn't Mano start kickboxing after getting destroyed by you? He looks like he only took the tutorial class. They're cracking up. Sangbo doesn't laugh much. What can you expect from someone like Manho? And then he stands up. Different energy, way colder. Mano's only top because he fights dirty. And then his underling agrees. He's nowhere near your level, Sangbo. And then Sangbo slowly removes his jacket. I feel like checking my condition today. Where's my punching bag? A trembling student steps forward. I'm here, sir. And then boom, Sangbo punches him in the stomach. The kid folds instantly. How was that? Giving Sangbo a rating, 800. And then the kid gasps. Sangbo smirks. The human punching bag throws up. I told you not to eat beforehand. He slides his hands into his pockets. Wife beater under his open school shirt. Tattoos across his chest. Feeling aura heavy. Get another one ready before lunch. He looks at the phone again. I'll warm up before I pay this transfer student a visit. Honestly, Dagon's kind of enjoying this. We cut to him daydreaming during class. He's thinking about how this secret bully job is way better than scanning ramen at a convenience store. If he plays this right, maybe he can shake off his shady past. Maybe this is his reset. A brand new Dagon Kwan. The bell is about to ring. He casually asks Minsu if he can borrow his notes. Minsu agrees instantly, and behind him, Hojong and Jongmin are whispering. Hojong yawns and randomly asks where the bread boy is, then freezes because he remembers he got folded earlier. Dagon slowly turns and gives him a death stare. Jongmin calls Hojong a dumbass and tells him to get the bread himself for exercise. And Jongmin is still sitting on some poor kid's back like he's riding an elephant. What a hypocrite. He even asks the kid's name and apologizes for using him as transportation. Out of habit. These dudes are hilarious. They start huddling, talking about how they can't do anything while Dagon's around. Jongmin says Manho wasn't at 100%. They want Manho to challenge Dagon outside. A girl nearby overhears them and says nothing would change. And she walks up to Dagon, compliments his fighting, suggests they should take jiu-jitsu together. She's blushing hard. He asks her if there's a gym nearby, even hints at personal lessons. Dagon's just shifting his head trying to copy notes off the board because her head was blocking it. But then she realizes that he's completely uninterested. Once she realizes, she gets embarrassed and walks away and tells the bullies not to get revenge. Back to the bullies. Manho speaks up. Now that he lost, other big players are going to show up. Class 2's Myungjung Kim and Class 3's Sangbo Shim. He says those two would try to take over Class 1 now. And then O-Face panics. Absolutely not. They're the worst. And right on cue, someone walks in. It's Myungjung Kim from Class 2. He immediately starts trash talking Manho, asking how he looks fine after getting destroyed from the video earlier. They go back and forth. Manho even grabs a pin like it's a weapon, and then tension is building. And then, suddenly, can you two just shut up? And then everyone turns. It's Dagon, calm. How are people supposed to study with all that noise? O-Face quietly reminds Manho it's break time. Manho instantly switches tone. Well, studying is important. My guy just submitted his energy to Dagon. Myungjung realizes something. Oh, isn't that the guy that beat Manho? This quiet nerd with glasses? He walks up to Dagon's desk, gets right in his face. Why aren't you talking now? Too scared? Dagon keeps writing, ignoring him. Myungjung gets irritated, tries to grab the pen out of Dagon's hand, and instantly, he regrets it. Crack. Dagon grabs his fingers and bend it. Myungjung drops to his knee, begging, sweating, crying. Dagon keeps taking notes while squeezing his hand. I really need to finish writing before a break. If you don't want to lose fingers, come back later. He's disciplining him like a child. Myungjung instantly submits too, even compliments him. Keep up the good work. And then Dagon tells him to leave before he changes his mind. Myungjung starts walking out, but his ego kicks in. He suddenly swings a right punch at Dagon. Miss. Dagon dodges and slap. Palm strike straight to the face. Myungjung's out cold, slumped against the desk. Underling checks his pulse. Dagon looks at the underling. Isn't he the top bully of class 2? He's impatient. I was going to visit him eventually. And he says calmly. Then he tells the underling that when he wakes up, Tell him if I catch him doing that again, he's dead. And then silence. Everyone just witnessed at the top of class 2 go down. Dagon even thinks to himself, wait, did I just take over class 2 on my first day? Oh my gosh, how convenient. The bullies are speechless. Oldface randomly says forgiveness is better than revenge, like he just found enlightenment. Even the bullies are rethinking their life choices. And then the door opens again. Sangbo, class 3's ruler, villain energy, cold eyes. He calls out to Manho about the video of him getting destroyed. Manho crosses his arm. He doesn't even look at Manho's direction, but he says, you really gonna make me pull out the pin again? Sangbo ignores him. I'm not here for you. And then we cut to Sangbo and his underlings surround Dagon's desk. Minsu looks terrified. Dagon's still sitting, calm, and in his head, he's thinking that he'll just take notes later. Sangbo casually places his hand on the back of Minsu's head like he's guiding a child. We need to talk, so why don't you get lost? And then Minsu doesn't argue. He just quietly leaves. Sangbo pulls out the chair and sits in Minsu's seat right next to Dagon. He looks at the open notebook. Wow, you're actually studying? What kind of character are you supposed to be? One of his underlings snickers. What is he, some K-pop idol? The other one asks, are you insulting him or complimenting him? Sangbo ignores them and introduces himself properly. Sangbo Shim, class 3. I heard you took down Manho. I was worried you might start thinking you're hot stuff for beating that loser. Dagon's pen stops. He slams it lightly on the desk and lets out a long sigh. You just don't stop talking, do you? He slowly takes off his glasses. Stop wasting my time and just say what you want. And then the room goes quiet. Sangbo smirks. Oh, you think you're strong? He doesn't look angry. He looks interested. Dagon fires back instantly. I've never met someone actually strong who walks around with this many lackeys. He looked pretty weak to me. That did it. Sangbo's eyes sharpen. Adrenaline, excitement. So you're not some weakling, huh? After school, warm up beforehand. I'm not a pushover like Manho. He stands up and walks out. Underlings follow. Dagon watches him leave and mutters to himself, why is everyone greeting me on my first day? The girl with the crush looks worried, and she's thinking that Sangbo's really strong. Manho suddenly gets up and moves to Dagon's desk and says to Dagon, he's different, you know? He's not like me or Myungjung. He's a real fighter. Dagon shrugs. Manho says he wants to help. Dagon gives him a sharp look. You want to help me? Manho starts explaining strategies, but Dagon cuts him off. Manho said that Sangbo's been boxing since middle school and doesn't compete, doesn't care about titles. And then we cut to Sangbo. He's in an empty space taking off his school shirt. Where are my punching bags? 3 punching bags step forward. He asks, where's the 4th? And then they responded that he's at the hospital. Sangbo tilts his head. Is that my fault? And then the punching bags panic. No, sir. He must have hurt himself. And then Sangbo smiles and says, I'm just giving you guys free lessons. It's your fault for being weak, right? They all nod. Guess you'll have to work harder in his place. Now let's begin. All 3 punching bags are rushing him. It's not even close. Jabs, hooks, liver shots. Footwork is smooth. He's teaching them while beating them. Don't just block, move your feet. They collapse. He looks down at them. You think pretending to be knocked out makes this end faster? Now I'll just send you to the hospital for real now. And then we cut to the cafeteria. Whispers everywhere. That's the transfer student. He's so handsome. Dagon grabs a tray and sits down. He stares at the school meal. It's been a while. He remembers eating convenience store leftovers. And then girls are just fangirling him now. Rumors spreading. He beat Manho in 1 hit. He beat Myungjung too. Some don't believe it. Buzz cut student Sunghwa Gu from class 1-7 comments. We'll see if it was just all luck. The girl from his class slides into his table. Scoot over. He's technically sitting with Minsu, but now the whole table fills up. Even the former bullies sit nearby. Manho leans in. Eat up, Sangbo's tougher than me. Dagon looks at him. You already beat him. Why are you nervous? Manho pauses. We never finished our fight. Then there's a flashback. Manho and Sangbo outside. Manho's face damaged, but still standing. Sangbo is taunting him. He's using space. He's countering, outboxing perfectly. Just when Manho was about to lose, he shoved Sangbo into a wall and used a move he swore he'd never use. Cut back to Dagon. Dagon's thinking, oh, no way you didn't. And then flashback. Manho grabs Sangbo by the balls and squeezes. Sangbo screaming, I surrender. You win. And then back to the present. Manho says Sangbo refused to acknowledge the loss afterward. Dagon thinks, you expected recognition for that? Manho explains Sangbo's style. He does precise strikes, high volume, and he's very evasive. After that day, Sangbo never challenged him again. Jungmin mutters in the background. Probably doesn't want to get grabbed again. Manho finishes. If Sangbo wins, he'll claim class 1. That's why I'm helping you. Cut to Sangbo's underlings talking. Sangbo skipped lunch to warm up. He looks so fired up, he'll crush the transfer student so easily. And then back to the cafeteria. And then, suddenly, something flicks onto Dagon's tray. Sangbo's underlings. Oh, sorry, that's an accident. Dagon looks at him. What are you doing? And then underling says, eat it if you want. Not my problem. They laugh and turn to leave. The girl next to Dagon looks furious. They think they got away with it. Then Dagon grabs one of their arms. Where are you going? He lifts the tray slightly. These are bellflower roots, not squid. His face isn't playful anymore. It's serious. The cafeteria goes silent. Dagon is gripping one of Sangbo's underlings by the arm. Everyone's watching. A girl whispers to Ji-in, "Look, that's the transfer student and that delinquent are about to fight." Ji-in narrows her eyes. Judging by the table he's sitting at, he's probably a delinquent too. Her friend shrugs. With a face like that, it's okay if he has a little bad side. The entire cafeteria is locked in. They want to see what Dagon is made of. Dagon stares at the underling. "Where's the squid you promised me?" Dead serious. The guy stammers. "It's not even that serious. I already apologized, you asshole." Dagon tightens his grip. "Apologize? You don't get to decide whether I accepted it." The tension spikes. Then buzz, phone notification, message from Sa-im Lee, and then flashback to their deal. Their deal was that college tuition was fully paid after graduation, and then Dagon will get monthly allowance to make his college years easier. A clean slate. But if you take things too far and the project risks exposure, it would be terminated immediately, and you'll return to your previous life. Now we cut back to the present. Dagon exhales. He lets the underling go. Across the table, old-faced Hojo mutters, "It's always the goons causing problems." The real strong one stays put. Minsu stares at him like, "Are you hearing yourself right now?" Dagon's mind is racing. He just needs the project to succeed. He needs this chance. Students around them look disappointed. They wanted to see a fight. Dagon stands up. Manu calls out, "We still haven't made a plan." Dagon's like, "No need," Dagon says calmly, and then he walks away. DiCaprio squints. Did his mood shift after he checked his phone? Now we cut to outside. Dagon thinks to himself, "First day and I've already stood out too much." Suddenly, the same underling from earlier crosses paths with him. Sees Dagon, tries to walk away fast. Dagon grabs him. "Where do you think you're going?" "You're making a big mistake," the underling warns. "No," Dagon replies. "You made a mistake earlier." The underling smirks nervously. "You don't know the rules, do you? You're not allowed to mess with students from other classes unless you take down Sangbo." Dagon blinks. "What kind of stupid rule is that? It's been that way for years. Break it, the whole school targets you." Dagon drags him into a quieter hallway. Then, bam, punch to the gut. The underling folds. "Oh wow, it's nice and quiet here," Dagon says calmly. "You'll regret this. I bet you can fight all you want here." Dagon cuts him off without interruptions. "Now call your leader." The underling is confused. "Huh? Isn't the rule that I beat Sangbo first? Once I beat him, I can beat you whenever I want, right?" "Well, technically." "Then hurry up and call him. I'll kick his ass right now." He's warming up with his punching bags. Dagon pauses. Punching bags? He's not using students as punching bags, is he? And then silence. Where is he? He's at class 1-3. Dagon stretches his arm casually. Guess it's workout time. Cut to class 1-3. Through the classroom window, Sangbo is actually beating a student. And he's also wearing a wife beater. Sweat dripping, cold expression. The punching bag can barely stand. Sangbo notices someone outside. "Who's that?" Underling looks. Freezes. "It's the transfer student." Sangbo grins. "Aren't we settling this after school?" He turns to Dagon. "So you changed your mind, huh?" He tells the punching bag to clear the room, but he keeps tormenting him. "Stop acting like you're in pain." He grabs the student by the neck, still lecturing. Dagon scans the room. Other students just watching. They're helpless, powerless. He understands that look. He lived that look. Bullies never stop on their own. Adults won't fix it. The only one who could stop a bully is someone stronger. Flashback to younger Dagon just clenching his fist. The day someone stronger stepped in for him. Back to present. He steps inside. Faces Sangbo. Underlings tense up. Dagon's voice is calm. "Stop acting tough when all you do is use human punching bags. Try fighting someone actually strong." Sangbo's eyes sharpen. "And you're saying that's you?" Dagon gestures at one of the underlings. "Maybe I should use him as my punching bag." The underling charges. Rage punch. Dagon grabs him mid-swing, slams him against the locker. Crack. One punch. He's out cold. Sound echoes like a gunshot. Everyone freezes. Dagon shakes his hand lightly. "Ah, that felt good. Reminds me of those arcade punching machines." He looks straight at Sangbo. "Want me to hit a few more punching bags?" And then silence. Sangbo's face darkens. This just became personal. We cut straight into Sangbo's thoughts. He replays what just happened. The way Dagon just used his underling's momentum and redirected the punch, slammed him into the lockers, overcame the size difference like it was nothing. Sangbo's jaw tightens. He's not just some regular guy, not some flashy transfer student riding hype. He's real. And then he orders everyone to move the desks. Students scramble, dragging furniture aside. He's creating space. Dagon notices immediately. Oh, he's an outboxer. He needs distance and he needs room and needs angles. Meanwhile, the underling who flicked food at Dagon's tray is rushing upstairs with his friend. There's a fight in class 1-3. Buzz cut Seunghwa Go from class 1-7 overhears. He and his crew head up too. Word spreads fast. Sangbo versus Dagon. Students flood the hallway. Manho, DiCaprio, and O-Face push through the crowd. They thought Sangbo and Dagon were fighting after school. Guess they couldn't wait. Back inside, Sangbo has his guard up, light on his feet, footwork sharp. From the video he saw, Dagon didn't look technical, but something felt off. Let's test him. Suddenly, Sangbo dashes in. Left punch, Dagon slips it clean. Right swing, dodged. He's fast. Even for an outboxer, Dagon thinks. He's quick. Sangbo closes distance fast every time. Dagon creates space. He's hunting reactions, looking for gaps. Dagon starts setting counters. Sangbo notices. immediately dashes back, and then resets. Manho is right, he's not just a thug, he has trained instincts. Image shows Sangbo's footwork going left and right, pivoting and shifting left and right. Remarkable footwork from Sangbo. Years of middle school boxing training. Sangbo attacks again. Nothing lands. Manho in the background mutters, "That move, he used that on me before. There won't be space to counter. What's Dagon gonna do?" And then boom, Dagon fires a straight right. Sangbo can't dodge. He blocks. The impact shoves him backward. His arms sting from the power. That punch wasn't normal. Dagon tilts his head. Nice reaction time. Quick decision making. Sangbo flexes his forearms. Took damage, but now he understands Dagon's reach. He'll stay outside that range. And then he uses his footwork to dash in. He anticipates Dagon's left jab. Sangbo dodges easily and then smirks. Thought he was outside of the range. But then that jab wasn't the real attack. Thud. Low kick to Sangbo's leg. Veins pop in Sangbo's forehead. He didn't expect that. My man started raging. He swings wildly. Dagon counters. And then another low kick. Sangwa Gu watching. He was so focused on the punches he forgot about the kicks. That damage is gonna limit his movement now. Sangbo drops to one knee, leg trembling. Dagon stares down at him. "Get up." Sangbo glares up. "You giving me time to stand? Trying to be sportsmanlike? Don't look down on me. Shut up and get up already," Dagon said. And then whack. Another kick to the same spot. Even the former underlings flinch. Yo, that's ruthless. Hitting the exact same spot. Sangbo's leg shakes uncontrollably. Dagon taunts. "If you can't fight, just lie down." Sangbo grits his teeth. Fight's not over, even as his leg quivers. "You're the one fighting dirty," Dagon smirks. "Thanks for the compliment," and then he swings his leg again. Sangbo races. Fake kick, and then it turns into a punch. Sangbo barely blocks it. Then it turned into another low kick, and then another punch. No. Low kick again. Crack. Sangbo collapses. DiCaprio mutters, "That combo looks familiar." Manho nods. He fights dirty too. Seungwa counts quietly. That's 4 leg kicks. He might not even be able to move. Sangbo tries to stand. His leg won't respond. The classroom is dead silent. Then, cut. A small blinking light. A fire detector on the ceiling. But inside, a camera lens. And then we cut to someone that's watching through the camera lens. And it's a man sitting in a dark room, smoking, watching the live feed. He exhales slowly. Fights really are the best entertainment. These little punks sure know how to put on a show.